Right. So, Mark is he's been expressing his white privilege because he was in a box yesterday at Chelsea. How was that?
Yeah, so to my surprise, it wasn't a box. It was actually hospitality. So
Oh, that's that white privilege.
we were amongst others. Can you believe it?
Yeah, horrible. Can I just say, I feel left out without a background, but my background still being.
That's all right. You're just showing your lovely new house.
Yeah, just showing off.
Isn't it? One time, look at him pretending.
We have to have a background because people are walking by behind us. It's just for privacy. Sorry, I'll keep it down. But yeah, so it was all right. So I was a bit late because I've totally forgot what it's like around here when Arsenal's at home. So it took me a lot longer to get home from golf. Ended up being late, so I missed the starter. It was meant to be a 3-course meal before the game. So I got there, I was like, oh, I'll have the veg crumble. Honestly, do you know those cups?
Veg crumble?
That's what I was like, I'll try it. I've never heard of it. So what it turns out to be is 1 carrot covered in some cheese sauce with salted cashew nuts on the side of the plate. So God knows what that was. But
horse food.
It came out in do you know the cup measuring cups that you get, and you can get like a 1 cup, 3/4 cup, half cup.
Yeah, for like cakes and stuff.
It was like it was like a 3/4 cup, just with 1 little carrot in it. And I was like, I've not eaten all day. I've been at golf. I was probably on my like 5th beer, and I was like, is this all I'm getting? They're like, don't worry, you get a pie at half time. I was like, okay, I'll survive till half time. This pie, I've had bigger pork pies than I've had this pie. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get sick. So yeah, carried on milking the free drinks. The game itself was all right. I guess we'll talk about that. But yeah, so I must admit I didn't leave Stamford Bridge feeling too well. It was
sounds like a good experience though. I mean, I don't know about I like crumbles, but a veg crumble, I don't know. That sounds a bit.
Yeah,
funny. That just sounds like a carrot cauliflower cheese.
Yeah, because the other option was lamb, which you'd think, oh, I'd go for that. But I saw someone else's, and it looked like pate. Like it looked like a little, and I was like, oh, that's not.
I love pate.
Yeah. I've had 2 really good hospitality experiences. One was at Twickenham. It was the England-Scotland game, and it was the hospitality there is just awesome because the food, like, it's just it's so much food, it's crazy. And then at half time, you don't even want to get, no one wants to go out because there's so much cheese and like everything is amazing. So that was really good. And the other hospitality I had once many years ago was at Old Trafford, and that is good. Like the venue's nice and like everything, but again, yeah, you had really small portions and really like I don't know. I think maybe that's just a football thing. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I think they're like small and a lot because at the end of the game there was like cheese and grapes and stuff, and I was like, I just wish I had a bacon roll or something before I went because me and Chris had sort of provisionally said maybe meeting afterwards, but when I was getting the train back, I sort of came up in a cold sweat, and I was like, I just need to get home. I was like,
and you left me now, like
the banger that did it for you.
Isn't it? You left me. We're doing this on a Sunday morning again, which is nice, but look at me, fucking hammered still.
Yeah,
never mind. Well, you know what then, right? So you went to that Chelsea game. Does it leave you thinking that Chelsea are probably the team to beat in the league?
Yes, but not because of like they're scarily good, but because they're happy to play like, and not anti-football. I think that's a bit too harsh, but Aston Villa dominated the ball and Chelsea would just pick them off every now and then. And you're like, you look at that team and you look at like their most creative player on the day was Kovacic or whatever. Lukaku's happy to play that role of just basically him and Mings fight it out.
Mings is a bad centre back.
Do you know, it was so annoying. Ollie Watkins had a couple of good chances early and Mings was terrible. And I was like, they're the 2 England internationals Villa have. And you're like, God, they shouldn't be near the England squad if they play like that much more. But yeah, I think Chelsea are dangerous because they all seem happy to play that style. Like, obviously, when you look back at Lukaku at Man United and like Mourinho's style, and you could tell half the team wasn't willing to accept that style. So you end up with this broken we're going to play a certain way, but not after all the players accept it. Everyone at Chelsea looks like they're happy to play their role. So yeah, Thiago Silva's just brilliant. Like you see him, he's like nothing will get by him. So yeah, I do think Chelsea are strong, but not because I think they'll blow teams away. Like just because I think they're like a jigsaw puzzle that fits well.
I think they got battered a lot of the game yesterday. They won 3-0. That tells you everything you need to know about Chelsea this year. They're going to be very difficult to stop.
Yeah, I was caught between Lukaku and Ronaldo in my fantasy team, and having seen Ronaldo score 2, the only thing I was pleased about with the game was I was like, at least Lukaku got 2 because it was a choice between him or Ronaldo. So I think at the moment, neither choice was the winner. But I must admit, I was actually impressed when Leon Bailey came on. I thought he looked good. Me and Chris saw him in Germany, and he didn't blow us away, really, did he? So
he wasn't the best.
Yeah, like we like to judge players on one performance, and yeah, he didn't blow us away. So,
yeah, even a few 20 minutes, right?
I didn't see Arsenal's right back before we'd even signed him, and I thought he was terrible still.
Yeah,
you watched him yesterday, right?
I did. I was watching. Well, I had Man United on the main TV, and then Arsenal on the little TV, and well, this
even as an Arsenal fan,
I
just
was a big 6-pointer yesterday.
Well, I wanted to see Ronaldo's return, but like for Arsenal at least, anything's going to be an upgrade against Bellerin. I mean, Bellerin really wasn't offering much of anything sort of the last few years. He looks good where he's more. I described it as he's more like an Alonso rather than any other right back that crosses the ball. I can't think of anything right now. Name one.
What, a right back?
Yeah, that crosses the ball.
Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah,
Kyle Walker.
Kyle Walker. Yeah, he's more of an Alonso type where he seemed to, and I'm judging him just based on the one game that I saw him. He seems like a right back that wants to get in the box and support there and probably take his chances. So you probably get him scoring more goals than assisting more goals this season. But I mean, Norwich are probably going to go down. They're a bad team. They're just a bad team. They're just terrible.
Did Arsenal look good? Because we spoke before the international break saying a scrappy win still wouldn't be good enough. Like for Arsenal now, they need to start. They can't just scrape 1-0 and expect to turn the tide. I didn't watch the game, but I just see 1-0. So
yeah, I don't think they were particularly impressive. Like they
battered Norwich. They had more shots and more chances in the game yesterday than they've had in like 3.5 years in a game. Yeah. Like I think it was like 30 something shots on goal. Like it was nuts.
Yeah, but if you don't have that ability to finish, you just talked about Chelsea kind of getting thumped by Villa, but still won 3-0. If we are getting chances and chances and chances, and we're not able to score, then that's not a good thing. And the thing is, look,
day, like Tim Krul did really well on another day.
Yeah, but I'm not. Do you know what?
On another day.
Yeah, but Pepe was our best player, and I think I might be out on Pepe being a good player. If he's your best player on the day, I think you've had a bad game because he's the type of player that's going to skin most bottom of the half team right backs and defenders because he's just talented. But is he going to do it against the big teams? No. And if he's your best player on the day, that's just because it's his type of day where you're not doing much and he's just having fun with the right back. So
he's like Balassi.
Huh?
He's like Balassi.
Yeah, that's a great comparison. I mean, they both look like Crystal Palace players, but that's one thing. But yeah, he just lots of step overs, just try and cut in, try and shoot. He's not that good. But yeah, Arsenal won, which I guess is a good thing. Seeing them against Norwich doesn't make me think. I genuinely might think we could get relegated. I don't know if anyone's really speaking about that. Genuinely, I'm nervous that I think we could get relegated.
I want to see that back five play against a better team than Norwich because that is your back five. I mean, if you've got Tierney and Tomiyasu in the wing backs, and you've got White and Gabriel in the middle, and probably Ramsdale in goal. That you've never played that five before. You played him yesterday, kept a clean sheet. I mean, Norwich didn't offer much. I'd be interested to watch that back five play against a couple of half decent teams, even like a mid-table, like a Villa or an Everton or something. And if they can hold their own against them, then you stand a chance. If not, you're in trouble.
I definitely don't want to see them against a better team. I mean, the best team we could probably beat is like a West Ham or Palace. But
West Ham could have gone top of the table yesterday. You don't put yourselves in that league.
They're going to start dropping now. I think the first few games they got lucky. They're going to start dropping.
They'll struggle now because Antonio's suspended, isn't he?
Yeah, but also, well, one game, but also their biggest problem is Europe. They haven't got a big enough squad, really, depth to cope with Europe, and Europe starts next week for them. So that will be the challenge.
Well, I would imagine their XG is like super high at the moment. You love stats. I bet you they're some kind of expected win ratio. They're like playing so above board. Because I like West Ham and I like Moyes, but they're not as good as they've been shown. It shouldn't be.
I don't know. Last year they got Europe. They were, remember 3 games to go. They were fighting for Champions League. Like they were right there. 2 points.
Yeah, they're good.
And they had an amazing season, and that wasn't fluke. Like they weren't fluking it. If you look at the stats, they were beating teams, and they were beating teams 3-4-0. They weren't just messing around. So they've got some really good players. But yeah, I mean, once you pull out Antonio out of that team, who have they got? You worry about their second 11 if they lose.
He's a right back, so if he's a right back playing forward, then
yeah, he's their top goal scorer ever. He just overtook I can't remember who in the Premier League.
That's so crazy. That's so weird.
Yeah.
Did you watch Ronaldo's return?
Yes,
I did. I actually found it a little bit more. I don't think emotional is the right word, but like it was definitely hair raising. Yeah,
I was emotional, definitely. Yeah,
it's like it was quite. I was surprised with how I only watched on Match of the Day as well. So
oh wow.
And even through that, I still felt it. I was like, oh, wow. Seeing our team as well, seeing just Greenwood, Pogba, Bruno, Ronaldo, I was like, this is the first time for like 8 to 10 years that I've been like excited about our team. Like
you might have the best starting 11 in the Premier League, right?
Oh, easily. It's a scary 11.
It's ridiculous how good it is. And it's weird because did you think about that 2 weeks ago without Ronaldo? Did you think we've got the best?
I picked Man United to win the league. That's why, because I think they've got the best starting 11.
It also sounds strange how many people were sleeping on Ronaldo. Just like when Lukaku came into Chelsea, it was like Chelsea are going to win the league was one of the main things that came out of that. And he fits and he's a goal scorer and they need a goal scorer. And then we got Ronaldo, and there's Paul Merson on Sky Sports saying, don't expect the Ronaldo of old. Don't expect to step over. You're just getting basically a tap-in merchant. And you're like, there was like, obviously Man United and the marketing team and all that hype was there. But from the sort of pundits and experts, that it wasn't really seen as like, as big as maybe I thought it should have been. And within 10 minutes, obviously, I know he scored, which helps in the first half. But you're like, wow, we've got Ronaldo back. Like, and actually, he scored more goals than Lukaku last season in the same league. So you're like, it was surprising how many of the experts just, didn't quite.
I think because like the Ronaldo that we were left with was the speed merchant on the wing, just stepping over, beating people, cutting in, bang, hammer it, and because we don't rate other leagues, they're all farmers, and he's in Spain and he's just tapping in, getting goal. Saying he's just a tapping merchant, fair enough. Maybe he is, maybe he's not doing it. But the way that Man United was playing, you talk about a focal point. Everyone was looking for him, whether it was through the middle or out wide, just looking for him. And he's got the ability where his goal against Shaw, that touch is probably going to be so underrated in the way in which he took that in stride. In the exact position he needed for his off foot. It was such a stupid touch because it was like right behind him.
Match of the Day, because they did that touch and then they had a little speedometer above his head and he went up to 21 miles an hour in that little run, and you're like,
no, he's ridiculous. He looks very good. Obviously, the player that I'm most impressed with, and obviously he's a good player, but Pogba is playing out of his absolute mind.
It's almost like he needs a new contract.
There's times when in the last season or the season before that, for me, De Bruyne was the best player in the league, and he just made it look simple. Just as soon as he receives the ball, turns, maybe beats a player, and just puts a pinpoint pass. He's playing as good as any player that's played in the league for a long time in these 3 games before.
Basically, since our walk in Alexandra Palace, and you said he was no good. Yeah. He has just played well every week since then.
That was about 2 years ago as well. Yeah.
Was I saying that? I can't remember what I was saying. He's rubbish.
No, well, rubbish is a bit extreme, but yeah.
Basically, yeah.
No, the conversation was if Bruno gets injured, United were screwed. At that time, it was like Bruno had just come. It was like if he gets injured,
You agreed with me, Danny. I remember
What we
because
were
Mark
saying
was saying we got Pogba.
what we were saying is Pogba can fill in, but he wasn't consistent enough. He never did it regularly enough to say that he'd definitely cover. But now he's out of this world, like ridiculous.
I think one of the big talking points yesterday, I know Pogba played well. For a lot of us United fans, it was so good to see Bruno play well.
Oh yeah.
I know Danny keeps joking Bruno's done and whatnot and then for Portugal him and Ronaldo don't seem to play too well together, and it's like just to see him score a goal. Although the celebration was a bit weird because he seemed to spend the first 10 seconds of it celebrating by himself, but it was. You're just pleased. You're like, actually, maybe Fernandes, Ronaldo could have a connection because we want Ronaldo, but we don't want to lose Bruno. So,
you know what was funny yesterday watching the match of the day? The amount of Portuguese players and scorers in the league at the moment. It's just great. Like every one of that Portugal team. It's like, Man City's best player, Bernardo Silva. Oh, he's Portuguese. Like Man United, he's Portuguese. And like the Wolves game, like, they're all Portuguese. Everyone's Portuguese. Everyone in the whole league.
And that's why the Portuguese league's now coming up. Because if they're like, there's a genuine chance they're going to move on to bigger things. So,
did you watch much of England the last 2 weeks?
I watched the third game. I watched the Poland game. The other two I missed.
I watched the other two and missed the Poland game.
Oh,
for me, I was really nervous about England after the World Cup because you don't know what something like that would do to a team. The thing for me, you can agree or disagree. You probably disagree, Dan. I think that they actually look really good in beating the teams that they're supposed to beat. Because, we've been watching England for years and there was a point where we were going to games quite regularly. And England would beat the teams they were supposed to, but it would just look horrible. It would look boring.
Yeah, 1-0 against someone crap.
Yeah, and you're like, why are you beating Egypt 1-0? Why are you losing, or beating San Marino just 2-0, 3-0, or just, not looking that good? They look good. They look like they know what they're doing. They look like they have a purpose. They look like one of the better teams in the world. Against bad teams, yes, but I actually quite enjoyed watching them play. The biggest takeaway I got after that as well is that I don't think Patrick Bamford is doing himself any favours, is he?
No,
he looks terrible.
He looks a bit lost out there, unfortunately. Like they were talking about him being a player who plays on the edge, who makes the runs, and to be honest, he didn't. He had two sort of better than half chances, but he had sort of two half chances, and he like skied them, and you were like, yeah, I don't think we desperately need some backup to Kane, because we saw like Kane, he missed 3 real big chances in the Andorra game, and I must admit, out of all of it, I was like not watching the Poland game. It's Jesse Lingard. I thought he was unreal for England. I was like, honestly, I was, for me, I can't remember what it was. The game that you text Chris saying Bellingham looked good, and I was just like, for me, Lingard is just like, he's the creativity in the team. But
he looked great when he came on for 10 minutes yesterday for Man United. I mean, I don't know what Lingard kind of had this. He had that 1 year. I think it was Mourinho. He just didn't play, and then he lost his spot. And then obviously when Solskjaer came in, he didn't play that much either, and then he was injured for a time. He got his move under Moyes to West Ham and just blew everyone out the water. It was unbelievable, and everyone was saying he probably should have been in the England squad. And since then, he just hasn't stopped. Every time he plays, he scores.
It reminds me a bit of like a Mesut Ozil, where if he fits into a team where the other 10 players are sort of connected and playing well, he can bring them up a level. So like, as we said, our England looked good. They look like they know what they're doing. He can come in and suddenly it's like, oh, Jesse Lingard's actually a good player. But then if the other team, like if the other 10 players sort of drop a level, he's not going to drag them anywhere. Actually, he'll probably go down a level with them. So I think that's, yeah.
I'm looking. I don't know when the next time they're going to play a proper team, but I'm looking forward to seeing England play against a proper side, hopefully at some point.
Hold on, we played Poland, who not great, but they were, Lewandowski was playing out of his skin that game.
Yeah, but come on,
and that was a 1-1. We didn't win that game, but I think we were a better team. We were a bit unlucky. Should have put a few chances away. But Lewandowski was just brilliant. He was everywhere on the pitch. Like, he was amazing.
Yeah, we just can't. England just. It's been about 20 years now, maybe longer, of us having a mentality of getting a lead and trying to hold on. Like, how many big games have we taken the lead in? Like, England don't just lose or draw big games. We seem to always go 1-0 up. Like, if you think of any big game that we've gone out in, we've always gone 1-0 up. And then this mentality comes to try and hold on to it. So, yeah, it's just another game where it's not that important because we're going to win that group quite comfortably anyway. But, it's just another lead we've given away.
Yeah.
It's weird. Is there any like players that there doesn't seem to be any players on the periphery that should be looking for a place in? It seems like this is probably going to be the
young team. I think that's the difference. Is we're one of the youngest age group, like in the last Euros.
Yeah.
We're one of the youngest teams in the Euros. So the reason there's no one coming through the periphery really is because you're not going to take any of the old ones because you're like, well, we've got great young up and comers. And they are the young up and comers, so there's no one else. You know, the under 21s, we talked about it. Like our under 21s team are okay, like they're pretty decent and they're doing quite well. But actually, when you look at their level, they're miles away. There's a big step up now from the under 21 to the first team. Whereas a few years ago, there was a bit of crossover because you had sort of the old timers and a few of the youngers. Now you've just got this elite young team that's kind of moved up the under 17s World Cup, the under 20s, and now it's here, and all the Fodens and the Grealishes and all of those of the world. And
I guess the only player would be probably Maddison. That's the only one I can think of. But
I worry about Maddison. I mean, I like him, but he's just he seems more focused on modelling his shit clothes and his flashy cars than actually playing football. I've not seen him play well for a while now, actually, and he didn't play well yesterday either.
Oh well. Should we do the Champions League draft?
Yeah, exciting times.
Favorite time of the year. So for those that don't know, the Champions League draft, we do it every year. We pick 4 teams out of the pots pre-draw. So we're not doing it from the groups. We can pick 1 team each from each pot. And then basically we get points based on how the team does throughout the whole Champions League campaign. So you get a certain amount of points for wins, draws, losses, goals, for and against, and then getting to the next rounds. Now, I was trying to work it out, and unfortunately, I haven't really figured out how to get more points. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, so we're going to keep the scoring the same. The only difference I've made is goals for used to be 30 points. Now they're 25. Goals against was minus 10 points. Now they're minus 15. So you get 100
you're actually removing points from the game.
I'm removing points. I'm removing points.
Okay.
I'm trying to get the balance right, and then I'll just add more zeros afterwards. So you get 100 points for a win, 25 points for a loss, minus 25 points for a loss. 25 points for a draw. And I said the goals and all the rest of it. Right. Mark was the successor last season. So congratulations.
Danny was shamefully, none of us actually had the winner.
I was second. Yeah, none of us had Chelsea.
Yeah, the worst thing about that, I remember in the semis, I could have picked Chelsea and I went for PSG.
Yeah, there you go. I came second and Danny came first. So Danny, you're actually first. We was going through this.
So you completely, when you said it's Mark, me, you as picks, that was
look, I'm still drunk. Look at me. I've got it
trolling.
Yeah, look, Danny. So I'm messing up Danny's order. He done his picks and now he's messed up his order.
Shocker. Absolutely. Shocker.
I've basically just picked my top 3 from each pot, and I'm like, whichever ones you don't, I'll pick the third one left. Yeah.
So Danny, you pick first.
Anyone want to take a draft pick?
You pick first, and then I pick second, and then Mark picks third and fourth, and then we do snake draft. And you wanted to trade. You were chatting pre-draft that you wanted to trade.
Well, now I know I'm first pick. I'm not sure I want to trade, but because that means I get what?
Are you going to make the same mistake as last time? And
what did he do?
What did I do last time?
He dropped Chelsea for PSG.
Oh yeah,
do it again.
We get to trade. We get to trade our teams as well throughout the season. So yeah.
And we trade every game week, right, or every other game week?
I
Something
thought
like that.
Yeah. Every at the end of a game week.
It's after every
everyone's
round.
played. Yeah.
Okay.
So Danny, you get the first pick out of pot 1. Pot 1, we got Chelsea, Villarreal, Atletico Madrid, Man City, Inter, Bayern. Who's LOCS? Lille. Sporting Lisbon. Yeah, I know. I just copied and pasted it. Pot 2 has Real Madrid, Barca, Juventus, Man United. Jesus Christ, that should be pot 1.
Yeah.
PSG,
I think
Liverpool, Sevilla, Dortmund.
pot ones or the league winners plus the Champions League winner.
That's
So
nuts.
that's how it works.
Plus the Europa League. So Villa, obviously, Lille won the league, Sporting won the league, Inter won the league, Villarreal won the Europa League. That's why it's such a ridiculous pot.
Goodness me. Porto for pot 3, Porto, Ajax, Shakhtar Donetsk, Leipzig, Salzburg, Benfica, Atalanta, Zenit, St. Petersburg. Pot 4, the one we all love. You picked pot 4 first last time, didn't you, Mark, in your first pick?
No, I had first pick.
Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't.
Besiktas, Dynamo Kiev, Club Brugge, Young Boys, Milan, Malmo, Wolfsburg, and Sheriff, brand new team to the Champions League. All right, Dan.
I was like, who the hell were they?
Danny, you pick.
Yeah, I was
Number one
going
pick.
to. I was definitely going to offer a trade for a position, for a draft position, but I'm not going to mess around now. I've got first pick, so nice and easy. I am picking Manchester United. First
Wow.
Oh,
I did not see that coming.
yeah.
Did not see that coming.
You
They're up
did.
against your team the first round, but we'll see who you might pick later.
easy choice.
Mark, who's it? My turn.
Your
It's
turn,
my
yeah.
turn.
Yeah, do you want to put it in the? Are you updating the
He's
sheet?
I'm
yeah.
updating the
Yeah.
sheet. Yeah.
Do-
Oof. You picked Man United. This is tough. They might be the best team. I'm gonna go for Bayern Munich.
Shock.
Shock horror.
I
Actually,
can't believe this. When I was like on third pick, I was like, there
You
is
want
that.
Chelsea, right?
I'm going I get 2 picks. So
Yeah.
obviously PSG. How like the super team with plus Messi is yeah, I'm surprised PSG how we've got to the first.
No, I don't trust them. They're just
I wanna-
PSG.
I'm not interested in having them.
They're the
So-
Spurs. They're the Spurs of the Champions League.
Yeah, I
They're
don't want-
ridiculous.
But now they've got Messi. Like, so I get 2 picks, don't I? So I'm
Yeah.
actually going to go rogue, and I'm going to pick what I think is by far the best team in pot 4, and I'm going to go Milan.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that early, but you can't be wasting no picks doing that. Yeah.
Like, I was just lucky I got 2. So
So
PSG.
pot 4 is an interesting one, isn't it? Because we've got after that it's a bit weird because you kind of want to get the most points from that pot.
We just kind of like who could get a couple wins out.
Well, I remember you picking a team last year and we both laughed at the time switching to them. So I'm hoping they'll get more points again. I'm going to go for Besiktas.
Oh, thank God for that.
Oh, who are you going to go
Danny
for?
going
Club Brugge?
Wolfsburg. I was like,
Thank God for
Are you
that.
going for Club Brugge?
No, it doesn't matter now. You've picked your pot 4s. I'm saving that till the end. Lovely.
yeah.
Thank you guys. That has helped me out massively.
Oh.
Have I got 2 picks now?
You got 2 picks now, yeah.
Sweet as a nut. Right, I am going for Chelsea in pot 1.
Ooh. Chelsea in pot 1.
That's good. Oh, got
And then I want a pot 3 because my pot 4 is safe now because you can't pick it. Who am I picking out of pot 3? I'm going to go for
let's have a look.
Atalanta.
That was my
Ah.
top pot 3. I've ordered my
They might not like win a lot of games, but they seem to score a lot.
They just score goals, man. They just love scoring goals. And this is all about goals, this game.
So I've got a pot 2 and a pot 3. Is that correct?
Yep.
You've got Man United, Chelsea, Atalanta. Mark's got Paris and PSG and Milan. I've got Bayern Munich, Besiktas. You've both got picks from pot 2, haven't you? So I'm safe there. I'll go for pot 3 then. You went Atalanta. For me, tough. I'm gonna go for there's 2 teams I've got made. I'm gonna go for Leipzig.
Oh,
okay, that's good.
that a
that's
bad
a dodgy pick. That's a dodgy pick. We've seen their group. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
but they score a lot of goals. I fucked up, didn't I?
What a group they've got.
So-
Jesus.
Why? What were you hoping for, Mark?
Well, my top 3 is Ajax.
See, I was thinking. I don't even have them there. I was thinking.
You picked. See, the one we're all sleeping on is Shakhtar Donetsk. They're playing Sheriff first at home. They're going to win like 8-0.
I'm
So-
not.
What we're all missing.
I have to pick my pot 1 team, and you pick. So I can't not pick City, but Atletico. I really feel like they're going to be strong this season. Atletico City.
Well, they got Griezmann back, didn't they?
Yeah, and he's got his
Coaching.
hair. And I'm gonna go with City. You've all done your pot ones, so
Yeah.
I'll go City.
Interesting.
Nice. So you got Paris and Man City in the same group.
Yeah. You got like 2 which you know are for the group stage, and then 2 you're like, well, hopefully I'll keep these
For the rest.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's why I picked Bayern, because I think Bayern's always in with us.
Yeah, but Bayern. The only reason I picked Man United is I thought it would never come back to me without them being available. Otherwise, Bayern was the obvious choice. Yeah.
Well, Bayern, as soon as Bayern have a bad season, they hoover up anyone half decent in the German league, and then they come back strong.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
They're probably a good pick.
Yeah, really good pick. Unfortunately, Chris, you've got Besiktas and Leipzig in your group.
Yeah, but they can. But they're the ones that you can change around, so I'm not too fussed about that.
Whose pick is it?
Me, it's my pick, and I've got pot 2. I've got Real Madrid, Barcelona, Juventus, Liverpool, Sevilla, Dortmund to pick. See, oh man, because who knows what Real Madrid and Barcelona is going to be like this season? Even Juventus.
Amazing, right? Real Madrid and Barcelona haven't even been picked, or Liverpool. We're right at the end.
I feel like this is why like Real Madrid and Barca. I just don't. Well, Barca are their teams terrible. Real Madrid, they've got a couple of old ones that could probably step up in moments, but yeah.
If it helps with the pick, Chris, Juventus I think are 16th in the league at the moment. So yeah.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it, and only because it's familiarity. I'm gonna go for Liverpool.
Yeah, the one thing with Liverpool is I feel like the African nations is this season, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they're gonna lose Salah, Mane, and they should come back for the knockout stages for the Champions League, but
that's a good thing about being able to change your team, isn't it? Like I could keep them in for now, try and get them some points in the group stages. Liverpool for me never really have a problem scoring goals.
No.
So I'm just thinking more about that.
The good thing about this game and this pot 2 this year is we've all picked our pot 2s now, and Real Madrid is still there, Juventus is still there, Barca is still there.
Yeah.
And even Sevilla, who are probably going to win their group, are still there. So actually, swapping that is not going to be tough.
Yeah, and the problem is if Real Madrid buy Mbappe in January, he'll be cup tied for the Champions League and out of Paris. So I'll be.
I don't think if they buy him, I think he'd move in the summer still, but we'll see.
Well, I think in seasons past as well, I feel like the teams kind of pick themselves. It just depended on what order, but certainly it looked like pot 2. But some of them, it's not that easy to tell. I don't know if it's Chelsea winning last year, kind of shaking things up, or just the landscape of the teams. But I'm not looking at it thinking. I don't trust any pick I've made. I have no idea.
I feel like that. I've even got a sneaky feeling City won't get out of the group. I have a feeling about that. I really felt last season was City's year. I felt before the thing started, I was like, it just felt like their year, and then they hit the post, and you're like,
I know City are missing De Bruyne and Foden at the moment, and that's a big miss for them. But every time I look at that team and I see like Ferran Torres as their striker, and I see
it's so weird, isn't it?
And I see Cancelo at left back, and I just look at their team and I think that's not a world-beating team. What's happened to them?
You got one more pick.
Their defense is so strong.
It is strong.
You got a last pick, Danny.
My last pick is a really easy one. I can't believe you guys
what is it?
I'm picking top of the German league right now, Wolfsburg. Who have
your young boys? You're not going to pick your young boys.
But Danny, you massively overrate the German league, so.
Well, yeah, but it's still got Bayern in it, and Dortmund, who are playing well this season. Wolfsburg have been on fire this year, and they've signed well. And they've got a group of, other than Sevilla, I can't even remember.
Which country is well from?
Terrible, their group. Their group is...
So to wrap up, Danny, your teams in this draft are Man United, Chelsea, Atalanta, and Wolfsburg. Mark, you've got PSG, Milan, Ajax, Man City. I have got Bayern Munich, Besiktas, Leipzig, Liverpool. What have I done? Right.
Can I just say, before I wrote down my best 4, my hope, and it was Man United, Atlanta, Bayern, Wolfsburg. So I've got 3 of my 4, so I'm very happy with that. I'll take Chelsea.
I didn't write anything down.
Well, you got prep, mate. That's why you ended up with Besiktas and Leipzig.
I know. I think it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I've got room to maneuver. Results league. Yes.
Yeah.
So last week.
You updated the sheet, by the way, because I was looking. I don't think I was trying to pick who I've picked already, and it's still got the old one, right?
No,
there's a new one. We still need to do all the.
You need to do the tables and stuff for the
Yeah.
points. I don't know what the points are, but the table's ready and there are marks on it. So last week, Mark picked Wolves to beat Watford 2-0. What did Wolves do?
They
Won
won
2-0.
Boy, look at that. That's
So,
outrageous.
This is the first time in probably a year and a half I've got
Correct away score. Massive 4 points.
Big
Stuff going on right now. Danny, you went West Ham to beat Southampton 3-1. What did they do?
0-0.
0-0. Do you know what that means for you?
Nil point.
Yes, correct. I went Spurs to beat Crystal Palace. What was I thinking? Stupid fucking Spurs. They got absolutely thumped 3-0.
Can I just say, the worst thing about that game, I watched 82 minutes of that game or whatever it was, then got distracted and was doing something else, came back and it was 3-0. I watched 80 minutes of 0-0 crap to then find it ended 3-0.
I watched it up until the red card and then left after the red card. But I left knowing Palace were going to win that. They were all over.
Oh, they were absolutely all over. Yeah.
Zaha was just having fun, boy. He was just absolutely murking.
So is Edouard the new pick for fantasy? Do we have to get him?
I don't know. Those 2 goals weren't the best. I'm not.
If you're going to pick a Palace player, it's going to be Conor Gallagher.
He's playing well. He's playing well. I don't know what's happened to him, but he's playing excellent. Chelsea loanee. They're just churn them out, don't they? No, there you go. So I got nil point 2. So we have our games for next week. Is anyone ready?
Yep, I've got mine.
What you got, Dan?
I'm going to go for the Friday night kickoff because, why not?
Friday night kickoff. Goals.
Friday night.
I bet I know where you're going. You're going Leeds to win, aren't you?
Well, yeah, because that is the Friday night kickoff. Yeah, so
but Newcastle could win at home.
Well done, Inspector. To be fair, Newcastle haven't been as bad as maybe some of the results might show. But I think Leeds have had a stuttery start.
We're going to watch Leeds lose 5-0 in about an hour.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think they'll come back fighting. And I think Leeds away at Newcastle, that's a good fixture for them.
Right. So how many goals?
I think they are going to win 3-2.
3-2. Interesting. I was going to say 4-2, but there you go. Mark.
All right. After a shaky start, I think they're going to get a little run of victories here. So I am going Arsenal to win 2-0 away to Burnley.
Ooh.
Arsenal to win 2-0 away to Burnley. Good.
That would literally be such a massive result for Arsenal. It's hilarious.
Shut.
The one thing I'm nervous about the nil because Arsenal don't tend to do well against big, strong teams.
Anyone that can head the ball, like Ben White, got a bit of a problem.
Burnley's going to have 3 corners and score all 3, but
particularly if Aaron Ramsdale's in goal. Christ.
I'm also going to go for an away fixture, and I'm going to go for the newly revamped Ronnie Man United away at West Ham at 2:00 next Sunday, and I'm going to go for a. All right, I'm going to go for it. Oh, am I?
He's going big.
Yeah, I'm going to do a mark score. I'm going to go for 4-0.
4-0.
Away from home.
Lingard will celebrate if he scores.
That's a massive score. I don't know why I'm doing that. It's actually not going to happen. But
wow, 4-0. Where was that?
Yeah,
it's early enough in the season to throw them out there.
Stupid ones. Yeah.
What were the 2 teams we agreed we can only pick once this year? Man United and Man City.
They were top 2 last season, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've done my Man United pick, and I've done my Man City pick.
Yeah.
Mark needs to do that table because I'm starting to lose who I've got.
I'll do it today. I've got nothing on.
Yeah, good. Thanks. Lovely. So I can't give you the points yet. We'll wait until next week, hopefully. I think that leaves us with front 3, back 4, unless you guys got anything else. No. In my front. Sorry. Can I go first?
Why don't you go first, Chris? You know me.
Sure.
Yeah, I need to get ready. Go on.
All right.
We need to reset something first.
Reset. All right. Let's just start this again. 3, 2, 1. I'll go first. In my front three this week is freedom. Freedom is in my front three this week because Savid Javid, is that his name? Savid
Close
Javidi.
enough. Yeah.
He has said that England plan to ditch the vaccine passports. So they're not going to follow through. They're going to follow the science. They've heard the criticisms and they've decided that we do not need to have vaccine passports. I, for one, very pleased. I thought they were leading themselves to giving us vaccine passports. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I'm double vaxxed. Someone said to me the other day, are you fully vaxxed? And I said, that makes no sense anymore. Because does it?
What's fully mean?
What's fully? What does that mean?
Yeah.
No one's fully vaxxed, apparently. I'm double vaxxed. That's the saying. Be correct with that. Yeah, I'm vaccinated. I'm double vaxxed, even though I'm pretty sure that we're all going to die from it.
Bill Gates will take us.
I know. They've captured me. They've captured my brain.
To be honest, I like having good 5G everywhere. If it means they have to put something in my arm to get good internet connection, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Goodness me. But yeah, so we're not getting that, which hopefully means that we still get some freedom or fluency in where we can go back in the clubs, in it. Me and Mark dancing it up.
So funny enough, I saw yesterday. Obviously, like the rest of the world is dealing with COVID in different ways, and some of the smaller nations and poorer nations are obviously really struggling. And it was one of the African nations, I think it was Benin or one of those. Their prime minister basically came out yesterday and said, anyone who isn't double vaccinated from the middle of September will no longer be able to have access to their bank account.
Oh my days!
Now imagine that kind of state control. You're like, hold on a minute, I can't get my own money out anymore because I'm not vaccinated. That's amazing.
Yeah, but you know what a bigger deal is? A bigger deal is, right? Enough people like me, we're not in enough CEO positions. We don't get paid enough. Right? We got real problems out here. I'm only on 60 grand a year. Ridiculous being middle management. We got real issues out here. Talking about bloody bank accounts.
Isn't it? Just tell them to go on Bitcoin, Danny.
Well,
yeah.
you laugh.
Danny will
I
always
cannot
slip
get
in
my money out of my bank shares, all right?
You laugh, but that is one of, like, they just keep throwing up the arguments.
Yeah.
Centralized management of money. We won't go there today.
And for those that can see this, I'm wearing a particular top. Mark knows what it is. And my back four is Mayo. Unbelievable.
So
Mayo.
yeah, so that was also probably going to be mine. And I don't know if you're going to mention Paddy Prendergast, Chris.
I'm not going to mention Paddy Prendergast. So shall I carry on, or do you want to go?
Yeah, carry on, and I'll tell you.
Well, for those so it was the All-Ireland final yesterday. Mayo lost against Tyrone. I've never really watched a game of it before, a couple games, and just Tyrone were just a better side from what I can tell. My inexperienced.
It's good though, isn't it? It's a good sport.
Oh, it's a great sport. I don't understand anything about it. I don't know how you can defend or what's the penalty. But I actually really got into it. My grandmother was Irish. Not a lot of people know that. I know I look like a very tanned Irish person. So I actually, and I've got a family tree at home. So I actually do feel a bit of a connection to Ireland in that sense. And I really got into it. Like I was pretty gutted when Mayo lost, because also they just wasn't a good, they didn't look the better team. It's not like they were unlucky. They just got their arse handed to them. But that's not good for the Mayo curse, which everyone should know. If you don't know, look it up. They're cursed for at least another year, so hopefully they can get past it. I think they said there's 2 people still alive from that team.
There's one, and that is Paddy Prendergast.
Oh, did he?
Is he under security? There's someone looking after.
So he came out 5 days ago and said it's nonsense. The team wasn't cursed. He's the last member of the 1951 team that won the All-Ireland. And imagine this, like, imagine a Six Nations where, I don't know, Wales won it, and then they said we're cursing Wales, and Wales went 70 years without winning the Six Nations again. There aren't that many provinces that could win the All-Ireland, and Mayo are one of the top ones that could, and they beat Dublin. Dublin have won the last 5 in a row. Dublin are like, if you beat Dublin, you should win the tournament, and Mayo beat them in the semis. So everyone thought this is the year. Paddy came out of the hiding and said, don't worry, there was never a curse. It's all nonsense.
He got hit by a bus.
And now Mayo have lost. So I think Paddy's gone back into hiding. It's
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
so the curse lives on, unfortunately.
There are some great stories in sport, and that is one of them for sure.
It's so good. Yeah. You should watch the John Bishop BBC program he did where he goes to Ireland and then he starts supporting Mayo, and he does a stand-up being like, no one in Mayo told him about the curse. So he went to watch the final that they lost a few years back, not knowing about the curse. And he was like, why didn't they tell me this before I picked my team? So it's
there you go. Nice top there.
carries on. Yeah.
Who wants to go next?
Well, seeing as Mark's halfway through this.
Yeah. So that was also going to be my back four, but my front three is it's been a good week for women's sport. There's a young girl, a rookie, and if you don't know who I'm talking about, it's obviously Leona Maguire. So she was the first ever Irish representative in the Solheim Cup for Team Europe. And I don't know if any of you watched the Solheim Cup, but it's brilliant.
No.
It's essentially the women's version of the Ryder Cup, Europe v America. So
I feel like the women's one should be called the Ryder Cup.
yeah, I don't know what the names are, but yeah, I don't know the innuendo.
Yeah.
I'm trying to computing that joke.
It's a bit of an innuendo.
I got it.
So yeah, Leona Maguire was part of Team Europe. She was one of the rookie picks, first ever Irish representative. She was the only one on the team to play every single day, and she won 4 of her games and tied 1 of them. So she never dropped a point. So Team Europe won it. Basically, what happens, you look at the top 10, and America are like 8 of the top 10 in golf. And then the Ryder Cup comes and America lose. And it's like, you just, I don't know what it is.
Like, Ryder Cup is great. I mean,
if I was a golfer, I'd love to be on that team.
Ian Poulter at the Ryder Cup, there's nothing better.
Yeah.
It must be such a laugh.
Match players. I do like match play. Obviously, it's a bit like when people talk about test cricket. It's not like the purest form of golf. It's like, I won that hole, so I go 1-0 up, even if I beat you by 4 shots.
Yeah.
But yeah, on the last day, it was pretty much for the first front 9, it was mainly all Europe, and then America started getting on top. But Leona was, after 7 holes, she was 4 up, and just, you're like, she absolutely battered her opponent on the last day. So that was my front 3. What were you guys thinking about?
Well, funny enough, in my front 3 was another superstar in the making for the women's sports game. And I don't know if you guys watched it. I actually did watch the game yesterday with Emma Raducanu and Leila Fernandes, I think, the Canadian, Ecuadorian Canadian, I think she is. What a game of tennis, first of all. But Emma Raducanu, at 18 years old, has just done her A-levels. Never before ever in the history has a qualifier come through and let alone got to the final, but she got to the final and won and deserved it. She didn't drop a set in the entire tournament, 3 games in 3 days, in 3 weeks. Just unbelievable. Like it has to be one of the best sporting achievements of a Brit ever. Like, I mean, no one has ever achieved this. It's quite amazing. So yeah, massive. That was awesome.
Yeah, and the pressure, especially the way her Wimbledon ended. It's good to see her come back.
Did she make it to the quarters, or?
Do you remember she's got like the panic attacks and had to retire due to medical reasons. And so yeah, it was good to see her bounce back. She is very, I don't know how to say it, like, because did you watch the interviews after? Did you watch the interviews after?
Yeah, I did.
Like the Canadian girl was clearly like a teenager, didn't really know what to say. And they were like, oh, do you also want to thank your team? And then reminding her prompts. And then when they went to Emma, they asked her one question. She just went off and just like, it was like an Oscar speech. It was like
she knows how to play the game.
Yeah,
she knows all about
she's been prepped for winning. Like you can see, like not like robotic. She's got personality, but I think there's a real player in
charisma.
I mean, it was it was about an hour and 45. She smashed her in 2 sets, basically 6-4, 6-3.
Equal pay.
What's that?
Equal pay.
But it was such a great game. There were 2 players. I was watching, and I can't remember the last time I watched a final where both players just stood on the baseline and hit it as hard as they could, for as long as they could until someone else picked up. There was no like serve and volley. There was no like lobs and this, that. It was literally, I'm going to smash this ball as hard as I can at you, as many times as possible to mess up.
Yeah.
You make tennis sounds, Chris.
That was my tennis sound.
On 3. Great. So that was my front three. I actually had quite a few options for my back four this week, which I know is not like me. So I couldn't decide which one to pick, but I'm going to go for one. Well, there was 3 or 4 things that happened over the last couple of weeks. We missed the pod last week, so there's quite a few things that happened. I was going to talk about the Brazil-Argentina, but I won't. Instead, I noticed that last week, obviously we've had 18 months with no fans in stadiums. Fans have now come back.
We've had 20, 30 years with no fans.
No, the Wiltstone Rangers haven't. And last week, before the City game, Man City had to put their tickets.
What's your back four?
So my back four is Man City fans. Sorry, Man City fans, because last week Man City had to put, or week before last, they had to actually put tickets on voucher and offer them at half price just to fill their stadium. This is a team who are winning the league every year, finals of the Champions League. They've got all the best players, spending all the money. They've got Guardiola. They haven't had fans for 18 months, and 3 games into the season, they're having to put their tickets on offer because they can't fill out the stadium.
You sure they're not just trying to get more women fans on voucher?
No, it was a discount. They were just offering it half price. It was on loads of affiliates. Anyway, whatever, Man City fans, come on. Just go and support your team. I mean, that is shocking.
I feel like if a football club ever can't get rid of their tickets, give them to the local schools. Kids would love it.
Right? I know. It's
not even like their stadium is massively out of the way. Do you know? Like
their stadiums are pretty central to Manchester.
Yeah. It's right in the middle. Yeah. I don't know. I saw it and I just thought, what a ridiculous thing that Man City are having to do. They're having to try and sell tickets any which way they can.
For our teams and Arsenal, it's like you can't move.
Also, you've got like a 60-year waiting list or whatever it is, just to go watch a team in the Championship.
Maybe I should be a Manchester City fan.
Yeah, get good seats every week. Yeah. Anyway, the Man City fans are in my back four this week because that is just not very good.
Poor form. Yeah, good stuff. Right. Do you know what? I don't mind doing this Sunday morning thing. It's a bit tough getting up, but
yeah.
He says at 2 p.m. on a Sunday.
Yeah, I'm about to go have a nap, but I need to put this off and then just go for a sleep real quick.
What's the first kickoff today? Leeds, Liverpool.
There's only one game today and one game tomorrow. So that's
so we'll do our fantasy football next week because who knows yet. Me and Mark have almost the same team, and yet I've got double the points.
If your captain choice, Lukaku.
Yeah. Don't worry, Salah's going to play today. That's annoying. That's a couple of Sundays in a row I've had nothing on, and the sport's been a bit boring.
Right. See you next week, maybe.
Yep.